Welcome to the channel. I'm Scott, this is O'ReillyShot.com, and today I am talking about social media. And I promise you straight away, it's not going to be another one of those videos about the doom and gloom and how it's going to bring down democracy and we're going to end up killing ourselves and the world's going to end. That is not my video today. This is really simple. I'm going to try and break down the YouTube algorithm and Instagram algorithm to make it work for us, and just I really feel like if we change one behaviour, or if you take one thing from this video, it'll make it a hell of a healthier place for us all to be. And that is it. That's my cat's tail walking past the camera, and later on I'll also tell you what this Paddington Bear's doing in my shot. Start off with some context of what on earth this is all about. It all started about 8 months ago. I'm scrolling through Twitter as I always do, it's all very good, and then boom. Oh, for God's sake, why are there so many photography vloggers about give it a rest or something along those lines? Then I saw another one after clicking on it, and another one, and I just thought to myself, well, that's not really true, is it? Then I looked at another one around the Black Lives Matter movement, and that was a few people saying, oh, I'm just sick of racists, and why is there so many racists in the world, and the world's just full of racists, and Now, I'm not denying they might be or might not be, but what I'm saying is that bubble that you can see on social media isn't necessarily true. It's what you've created for yourself. Right, first up, adverts, personal ads. We all know they exist. Don't think that's a big secret anymore. You look at a diamond ring one day on Amazon, the next day you go into Google and bang, load of diamond rings for sale right down the side of Google. That's fine. But I think sometimes it's worth just looking at the context of things. Adverts like this in some sort of personalisation is no different than what it's been for like 200 years. Oh, go all the way back to the early 1900s, and you've got billboards everywhere. Billboards in Trafalgar Square, in New York, Times Square, all these sort of places. Now, do you genuinely think that that billboard at that time in, say, Pall Mall in London, one of the richest, most expensive streets in the world, is going to have an advert for how to claim your housing benefit? It's not going to happen, is it? You're going to have adverts for high-end jewellery, high-end products, because they know that the people that are going to shop in that place are going to be people with money. So what's the point of putting an advert for Iceland or, you know, Netto's or whatever? There isn't. Same goes for the working class areas where I completely grew up. What's the point of putting an advert in there for a Pall Mall jewellers? There isn't. It's just as we've moved through from the 20s to then the 50s where TV came in, as you go through to the 80s, just think about before the internet came in. I'd get home from school at 3, watch kiddie programmes, CITV, all that stuff, 3 till half 5. What adverts are there? Just full of toys, because they knew kids are watching it. Football, prime example, betting, because that's associated with football. So this is the idea that personalised ads, you know, it's not the devil because of the internet. This has happened all the time. At the end of the day, advertisement companies have got one job: to market their product, and they'll do it any way they can to get you to buy it. It's quite simple. You agree with that or you don't, but ultimately that happens. So what does personalised ads have anything to do with me complaining that some dude said there's too many photography vloggers? Well, this is the issue, and I've got a little animation to show you to make it very, very simple. So imagine this, you go to an old school market, but instead of being a fruit and veg on one aisle and a grocery on the other aisle and a detergent shop on the other one, instead in this market you've got all the big supermarkets. You've got your Sainsbury's, your Walmart, your Asda's, your Tesco's, and this is the deal. You have to pre-give your shopping list before you go, but when you're there, each supermarket has probably about 30 seconds to grab your attention before you're going to make your choice. So this is what happens. You write down, well, you know, every week I'll always buy bread, milk and eggs, definitely 100%. And then maybe every other week I'll get pizza, some crisps. And then maybe, you know what, probably 1 in 5, I don't know, just every now and again I'll buy some ice cream, some chocolate, some marshmallows, some sweets. That's it. So you've just done that little bit of information, and that goes to the market. It gets fed out to all the supermarkets. Say, right, Scott's coming, and this is what he's going to buy. Now, you walk into that market and they're all lined up. They've got offers to give you to get you to go in and buy all that shopping, whatever you're going to buy this week in their supermarket. What do you think they're going to put on discount to try and get you in? Are they going to go with the ice cream that you buy maybe once every 4 or 5 weeks? Do you think they're going to go for the pizza that maybe they've got a 50-50 chance? Or they're going to go for the bread and milk and go, you know what, here, come in, we'll give you this for 50p each, because you go in and then you buy the rest, because they know you buy that every single time. You do this for a couple of months, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and suddenly, the market's got a brilliant idea, a little bit of an upgrade for your shopping list. Instead of you having to write it down physically and pass it them every time, they'll just save it for you. And then you give it them every time you go and what you buy, they'll just save the receipt and they'll just pop it there. And then next time your shopping list there for you. Wow, that's a great idea, isn't it? Yep, let's do it. Right, now the supermarkets know exactly what you buy when you buy it each week. So, as it turns out, that ice cream, apparently, it's not just 10% of the time, it just happens that it's every single 30th of the month. Payday, you get yourself some ice cream, some chocolate, every single month. So if you happen to go that week, then boom, it's chocolate and ice cream time. But they didn't know that before, so now you walk in the week of the 30th and suddenly that supermarket that's been paying attention has suddenly gone, oh, hang on a minute, they're all still going with eggs and flour and milk, but this week they definitely get ice cream, it's payday. Boom. They get your business for the first time that month. Why? Because they paid attention to the personalisation of what you're going to buy. Now, this is where it makes sense. This is exactly the same as social media. So, pretend for a second that bread, eggs and milk is photography vlogs. And the pizza and the crisps and the ice cream, well, they're cat videos and BBC News or that far-right extremist weird film that you watch because it was viral at the time. So every time you go on, they're going to look, oh, hang on, you've clicked the bread or the photography vlog. Brilliant, I want to watch that. Oh, well, he stayed on the platform for 40 minutes. He clicked 3 ads. Oh, bingo, that's brilliant. Let's keep him on that. As you go on next time, they do the same again. You do the same again. You behave the same. You stay there for an hour. Well, they're not going to risk showing you something else. They've got something that works. And when you start to drop off and you start to not really watch that photography video, then comes back these other 20%, these 30%. Oh, well, did he watch that random far-right video? Let's throw that at him, see if he watches that again. Oh, did he watch that cat video? Oh, that cat video, here we go, boom, boom, boom. And then things start rolling. You're going in, you watch these things, and it's building up these lists and information. And then what it's doing is it's grouping you with another group of people that are very, very similar to you. And it creates these pools and these profiles of people that are watching certain things at certain times but actually might change their behaviour. So do you know what? That far right video that went viral, it turns out you skipped off it 3 times in that month, but you watched it in full on the 1st of the month on a Monday. So it shows it you next Monday on the 1st of the month. What happens? You watch it again and it shows you a little bit more depressing content. What's happening here? Well, it's the first Monday in every month. You've been paid a week before, you've spent all your money, your rent's gone out, you've literally got 30 quid now a week for the rest of the month, you're feeling a bit crappy, and suddenly the content is feeding your emotions at that time, and you're watching it, you won't watch it towards the end of the month when you get paid, you're feeling good, you want to go out, but suddenly for those week or that 2 weeks, all this really nasty content is getting thrown at you. The algorithm doesn't know that, it's just throwing content at you because it's keeping you there, and that's all it matters. It doesn't know that it's dodgy content or rubbish, but it just knows that it's keeping you on the platform. Right, so what does this mean? And didn't I say at the beginning of this video, it's not a doom and gloom. It's not, I promise. There's one really simple fix. Whether it's something really silly like watching too much Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon, or something serious like you've started to really obsess over this far left-wing political group that starts talking about conspiracies, or the far right that's doing this. Whatever it is, there's one thing that's really, really clear and always been hit home from when I've been a tiny boy, and my mum and my granddad would always tell me this, which is it's not healthy to have just your opinion or people's opinion that's the same as yours. That's not what human beings do. We're brought up to learn, experience and learn off others, usually elders, and we do that because they're telling us something different than what we don't already know. But what social media is doing inadvertently is just simply creating a world, a bubble of two similar like-minded people that think the same, say the same, and if you get into that pattern where that's all you watch and you don't search out other types of content, that's just going to keep feeding your ego, keep feeding you till you think everyone believes exactly what you say, but that's not the case. perfect example for you right now. I create 2 Twitter accounts. One, just for me, it's usually football, load of rubbish, fine. Then I created the Riley Shot, my photography one. Now I followed people on one principle only. They had a hobby of photography. That's it. And I followed people back if they followed me, and and I got to the limit, 6,500, and then Twitter stops you doing it. Right, fine. But ultimately that is because people like photography. Great in the community, I love it. There's been 2 elections since I've had this account. You'll be amazed of the complete and utter polar opposite opinions I see, because I'm not following them because of that. So I'll see one person that'll, a Donald Trump pro supporter, that's fine. A Joe Biden pro supporter, that's fine. All of it's okay, but what my point is this: if you use your social media like Twitter to look at content and then start blocking people that don't have your same opinion, suddenly you're creating a world that doesn't exist. You need to accept that you can't agree on everything. So just because someone has a different opinion to me on politics doesn't mean that we don't have a great thing in common like photography that can bind us all together. It just means that, you know what, if we don't agree and we're completely opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to politics, let's just not talk about it like we used to do, like as parents told us not to do. But you know what? Or just agree that they're going to have a different opinion, and that is it. But blocking and stopping talking to those people with different opinions does not do anything for anybody, because none of us will learn, and that goes for left and right. Right, thanks a lot for watching. So hopefully next time you say to yourself, oh for God's sake, why is there so many blur, we'll have a little think to ourselves and just seek out those opposite views of our own to keep things balanced and in check. Remember, that is genuinely I believe this, that is actually what human beings should be, we're evolved to do, is to yes have our own ideas but have conflicting ideas. Otherwise none of us will ever learn anything. We'd just always be in that bubble. So it's just super important, so just remember that. Now, more importantly, suspense has been killing you. What's Paddington and Bobo doing in my shot? Well, they're literally hiding the cables from a microphone. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.